What's up, race fans? It's Randy Orton Fan 2011, and I'm back here once again here in Vegas for the Kobalt Tools 400. This is round 3 of 36 in the Season 3 of the PORWC Pepsi Cup Series. And joining me here in the broadcast booth is none other than McKinley Man 93, aka Michael Norman. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. So, we had a crazy nationwide race, to say the least, and we had many wrecks go on in the nationwide race, but I got a feeling we might have the same thing in the cup race, though, because with all those things, but of course with these cars in the cup series, we might have a different type of racing, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. The Cup cars are a little more, well, they're a little faster than the Nationwide series, so we'll see what kind of racing comes along with that. We got some very talented drivers in both series, and let's just see who can pull off a win in this one.
All right, well, we'll talk about some of those drivers later on after we take a look at the starting lineup.
Just say your breath. I love your words, feel like a jail. Blocks the sun and makes me stale. Not enough gold in all the world, so why have I surrendered to you? Abusive ways, the cracks have opened up to the core. Is there anywhere to go from here now? Say with the lies consuming our souls. Give me one reason to take the breath we breathe for granted. Hold it so long that you forget to say. Give me one reason to remain confined within defenses. Here with you and my soul on display.
That was look at your starting lineup. Anthony McCrory will be starting on the pole for the first time in this season. He'll be starting alongside of Dylan Young, who I've got a feeling that a win here for Dylan Young would mean a lot for just not just him but his family too.
Yeah, especially after what happened, man. And I want to express my condolences to Dylan Young. And it's not very often that a lot of people are pretty upset about that. And he is a trooper. And Dylan, I'm really sorry about what happened. And
Yeah, let's just give a moment of silence for his mother. We'll give a moment of silence right now. Thank you very much. Take a look at some of the other notable drivers in the field. The guy who won the nationwide race, and I'm sorry if you guys have heard about this, James Qualls will be starting in the third position, and I got a feeling James Qualls might have a chance to sweep the weekend here.
yep, he got a good starting spot. And he was able to pull that off, the victory off, and we can see maybe if he can get it another one here.
Of course, there is our defending champion, Dylan Poteet, and I got a feeling the Kentucky gang might actually have something up their sleeve here in this track. Also, we got Sean Henley and Barney Ward, the Englishman, in row 3. A few other drivers we want to look at. Seth Cole, he'll be starting in the 8th position, and Luke Martin, who had a pretty bad day over at Phoenix, he'll be starting in the 9th position. He had a pretty good top 5 run in the Nationwide Series. Let's see if he can follow that up with the Cup Series. So,
Yep.
so we're ready to go racing here for 28 laps here at Vegas, as we are just about ready to fire up the engines and get this race started. Alright guys, here we go. 28 laps under the lights here at Sin City to determine who will have the momentum heading into Auto Club. We'll see if any of the cars have any problems as they come off the starting grid. It doesn't look like any of the cars have any problems at this point, which is a good thing. Have all
Yep.
42 cars start on the field. Pace car will hit the pit road. 160,000 plus here have come over to Sin City to see some good old-fashioned racing. And there's the green flag. We are under the way here, under the lights here at Vegas.
Boogity boogity boogity. Viva Las Vegas, boys and girls.
Here they come into turn 1. It's Anthony McCrory with the advantage, and they're already wrecking. They're already wrecking. Just like that, the yellow flag is out.
Oh man. Oh
Look at
gosh.
this. Ryan Richards, Danny Wells, John Dillon, Ben Paul, and more. Eric Burton also got a piece of it. Multiple cars got involved in that one
That's
incident.
crazy.
The yellow flag is out just like that. And we'll be
I
Anthony.
noticed the 47 was anxious on that start. He tried to make it three wide right from the get go.
But for James Qualls, he does move up a spot, so James Qualls has moved his way into second. Sean Henley will move his way up to third. Luke Martin is up to fourth. Dylan Young has fallen to fifth, and Dylan Pote has fallen to sixth. The Dylans have fallen off, all fallen off just outside the top five, while drivers such as Luke Martin could use a good run right here. But for Anthony McCurry, he might end up, he will lead the field back to the line as we are under the yellow flag for the first time in this race. Let's take a look what put us under the yellow flag for the first time. This will put us under the yellow flag for the first time this race. Watch Pichu London in the 29 car. Going to try to squeeze between Danny Wells and John Dillon. And then right here, he's going to get tapped by John Dillon. Pichu London's going to bounce off the outside wall. And right there, he's going to get into John Dillon, who gets into Danny Wells. John Waycross is going to get a piece of this as well. And also, Sam Young's going to tap the wall here via Eric Burton. Now, Mike, watch these cars as they come back up the racetrack. Watch these cars. Hard hit into Ryan Richards and Randy Carpenter. And there you see Red Bell, Ben Paul, Ricky Hawk, Eric Burton, and more get involved.
The 4 and the 34 just had nowhere to go. They were just in it. They just caught the very tail end of the 17 car.
Yeah, Carpenter and Richards just innocent bystanders on that deal. So about 9 or 10 cars getting involved in that one wreck. 9 which spun out and were involved in that incident. 10 if you count Pichu London, who actually was involved in the incident but didn't actually spin out. This is the race back to the start-finish line, and it got pretty interesting around. This area, around the front. And you see right there, oh, that was a close call right there between Tony Blazer. He almost wrecked himself and more cars. But at this point, it will be Anthony McCurry who beats the field to the line, followed by James Qualls, Sean Henley third, Luke Martin fourth, and Dylan Young runs to the top 5. And again, it's all those cars bunching up like we saw in the nationwide race, all the cars bunching up and then causing wrecks. So we're on the yellow flag for the first time in this race, and we'll be back to green flag racing right after this. We're back. Pacer's giving us the 1 to go. Here comes the top 10 rundown. Anthony McCurry is currently the leader, followed by James Qualls, Sean Henley in third, Luke Martin fourth, and Dylan Young runs to the top 5. Dylan Pote are defending champions in 6th, Barney Ward is in 7th, Tony Blazer in 8th, Seth Cole in 9th, and Brandon Bain rounds at the top 10. At this point, 3 cars have DNF from the race. Ben Paul, John Dillon, and Ryan Cooper for some reason. He had a problem with the clutch, so tough break for Ryan Cooper, the Daytona 500 winner.
Yeah, there's horrible luck with that. You never know what's going to break on your car.
Pacer will hit pit road once again, and we'll go back to the green flag for the restart on lap 6. I apologize for the any background noise there. That's not me, though. And Anthony McCurry got a nice jump on the restart. That's going to put some distance between him and James Qualls. Luke Martin now to the inside for the 3rd position. Oh, they already wrecked! They already wrecked in turn 1 again.
Oh, another big
Joseph
wreck.
Lombard's in it. Preston Plord. Justin Perry. Ricky Hawk again. William Duncan's in it. Man, William Duncan, another tough break for the 2 car. He's dead last in points, and man, he did not want to see that. And more cars get involved in these wrecks. We are under the yellow flag yet again. And it's Anthony McCurry who once again beats the field to the line. Look at Preston Plord, the Alabama machine. The tide ain't rolling right now. I do want to. Obviously, I do want to see Alabama win the national championship over Notre Dame, but unfortunately, this may not be good for them Crimson Tide. Oh, James McLeod also got a piece of it. You saw Justin Perry. He's got some damage. Joseph Lombard in the 51 machine also with some damage. Zohar Manood also with some damage. And William Duncan, man, William Duncan cannot catch a break. Oh, and Stephen Whitman's going to the garage too. Many cars got involved in these incidents, so we're under the yellow flag for the 2nd time this race. And again, it's the issue that, oh, Tony Blazer, did he come off of pit road? He was in 9th position. Oh,
I think he might be blown up.
He's not blowing up. Maybe it might be some internal damage that Tony Blazer has suffered in this one. So another tough break for the 38 machine. Man, a lot of these cars are breaking and happening with all those accidents that have been happening around turn 1, and especially on the restarts. As we are under the yellow flag for the second time this race, let's take a look. We'll put us under the yellow flag for the second time. Stay tuned. This will put us under the yellow flag for the second time this race. Watch James McLeod here. He's going to make it 4 wide. Going to try and squeeze in between Justin Perry and Joseph Lombard to make it 4 wide. He's going to get into Justin Perry right here. He gets into, and then Justin Perry goes up the racetrack. He's going to get into Joseph Lombard. James McLeod's going to bounce off the wall, and right here William Duncan is going to get spun around as well. Oh, and Justin Perry and Joseph Lombard are going to take a hard hit on the inside wall. Now, watch these two cars. Watch Justin Perry and Joseph Lombard. They're coming back up the racetrack, and oh man, a hard hit. James McLeod, Zohar Manood, and Richard Johnson are also going to get involved. Now, who's going to hit Justin Perry? Oh, Preston Plord's going to hit him, and then Stephen Whitman takes a hard hit.
5 had just absolutely no time to hit to...
Oh, something happened with Ricky Hawk. Did he sustain any damage on this deal? Oh, he slowed down, and then he hit Stephen Whitman, and then he gets into the outside wall, and then he gets into William Duncan. So that is how Ricky Hawk had his damage. So another 9 cars getting involved in all these incidents. Now we're wondering what happened with the 38 of Tony Blazer. Something happened with that 38 machine. This is the race back to the start-finish line with still Anthony McCurry, James Qualls, Luke Martin 3rd, Barney Ward 4th, and Sean Henley rounding out the top 5. Something happened with Tony Blazer as they were coming to the, around. He was in 9th position at the time. Might have been some internal damage on Tony Blazer's machine. I'm not quite sure, but that's a tough break for that 38 team. Alright, we're under the yellow flag for the second time this race. I don't know if we will get a clean green flag lap, but we'll have to wait and see as we're under the yellow flag for the second time this race, and we'll be back to green flag racing right after this. We're back once again. Pace car's going to be the one to go yet again here at lap 10. Here's another top 10 rundown. It's Anthony McCurry currently your leader. James Cole is still in 2nd. Luke Martin now 3rd. Barney Ward in 4th. And Sean Henley rounding out the top 5. Seth Cole's in 6th. Dylan Poteet 7th. Dylan Young in 8th. Michael Norman, our co-commentator, in 9th. And Brandon Bain rounding out the top 10.
We are getting word that from the crew of Tony Blazer that it was his gearbox that failed on him.
Oh, tough break for Tony Blazer. The gearbox failed on him, and he is DNF from the race, along with 4 other drivers, Preston Plord, James McLeod, Stephen Whitman, and Joseph Lombard. They have all DNF'd from the race. So we're down to 34 cars now in this field of 42. Multiple cars have very good damage, but we'll see what happens around here at the front as the pace car hits pit road once again. Here's we go for the restart on lap 11. Let's pay attention to what happens in the back of the pack, because this is where all the wreckage starts. This is where all the wrecks start, on the turn around the back of the pack, because everyone is bunched up all around here. Take a look from our bird's eye view camera. You see them bunching up right around here. Oh, someone's in the wall. It's the 11. It's Alex Jones who's going to bounce off the wall. He's going to lose some positions. Looks like it might be a battle between Anthony McCurry and James Qualls at this point in the race, and we're going to be seeing if these cars will end up going around here. Here comes some teammates. John Waycross, Jake Cole, our previous race winner. We'll see if Jake Cole can move up a couple more spots and get some valuable points to try and catch up with Ryan Cooper, who who did not finish, who got a DNF earlier on. So far, we've had and Emilio Navaret's now on pit road. I don't know what's going on with him. You see some of these slow cars. If we keep going green flag racing, we might end up seeing some action between these other cars. They are 20 miles per hour slower. They're actually about 4 seconds slower than Anthony McCurry, the leader, at this point. And Mike, you know, it looks like it might be a battle between Anthony McCurry and James Qualls at this point because they're starting to bunch up around the third position and back. It's Luke Martin, Sean Henley, Barney Ward, Ford 5th and 6th, and then you got Michael Norman in 7th, then there's Dylan Young in 8th, Dylan Poteet now in 9th, and Seth Cole in 10th. I'm thinking...
Nice to see.
Oh, there you are. I thought we lost you for a moment.
Nope, I'm here.
All right. Well, we've gone a couple of green flag laps, so you haven't missed anything. There hasn't been any wrecks, which is a good thing. But now you see Anthony McCurry starting to pull away here from James Qualls.
The 14 car is a really strong car.
Anthony McCurry looking for his first win of the season as he has led at the halfway point. He's already led at the halfway point. Now he's led the most laps of 15 today. So Anthony McCurry, 3 critical bonus points for Anthony McCurry right there. But of course, James Qualls, he's not giving in 1 inch. He wants to sweep the race weekend here at Vegas. He wants to hit the jackpot real big. But now we see these other cars, Luke Martin, Sean Henley, Barney Ward, they're starting to catch up here with this with the draft that they're showing off here. Maybe if James Qualls can get in a line with these cars, maybe that will reel in Anthony McCurry closer and closer, and we'll see if Anthony McCurry can come away with a win here, or if Anthony McCurry might end up going off a bit. But now here comes a big question here, Mike.
The lap traffic.
Lap traffic of Ryan Richards and Justin Perry. I'm sure that Anthony McCurry will see them before this race is over if we stay under green. Do you think that will be the deciding factor in this race? I do think it's a deciding factor, but what do you think about it?
Well, I agree. It all comes down to the level of respect that the 2 lap cars have for the leader, for Anthony McCurry. As you see now, they're racing side by side. It's going to draw the leaders closer to them faster, and it'll be up to them to see who moves out of the way.
Well, Anthony McCurry ran a 27.049. Ryan Richards ran a 29.974. So these guys are 2 seconds slower, and they're catching up to him fast. They better get out of the way, or else Anthony McCurry could lose the lead here. Anthony McCurry. Oh man, Anthony McCurry almost got. Oh, James Qualls. There goes Ryan Richards. There goes Luke Martin. And just when we expected, there goes Michael Norman. Luke Martin's around. Charles Jackson, a hard hit. Sean Galligan took a hard hit. Trent Dunham is involved as well. Man. Oh, and Pichu London also took a hard hit. And just like you said, the lap traffic, the lap cars, it was only a matter of time before something like that was going to happen. Anthony McCurry just barely missing the lap cars, but James Qualls took a piece of it, and then all of a sudden it might have changed the whole landscape of this race.
Definitely.
And for Justin Perry and Ryan Richards, they're not gonna. Some drivers aren't going to be happy with them at all. But Dylan Young has now moved into the 3rd position. Dylan Poteet is now 4th, and Liam Ervig has now moved his way into the top 5. Seth Cole is now 6th. Brandon Bain is in 7th. Wolfgang Mason's moved his way up to 8th. Sean Henley has fallen to 9th. And John Waycross has now moved his way into the top 10. Look at all these cars. Look at all the cars on pit road. Ricky Hawk, Sean Galligan, Ryan Richards, Pichu London, and more. Oh, Trent Dunham, Alex Jones, and Jake Cole, our previous race winner. He could be done for the day. And Luke Martin, he had a great run going. Luke Martin had a great run going, and all those lap down cars really cost him the race, really cost him a chance at the top 5 right there. As we go into the yellow flag for the 3rd time this race, and again, I'm telling you this, it's really bad when you see all those lap down cars take out some very deserving leaders right there. But unfortunately, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know what was going through the mind of those cars, but that was.
Hey, you can sit at the. Your dad's not gonna eat with.
Yeah, that was a pretty questionable move by Anthony McCurry to to go on the inside of the lap cars when it was much safer to go on the outside, but Anthony McCurry took a very bold move, as well as James Qualls, but James Qualls wasn't quite so lucky as Anthony McCurry. But we're under the yellow flag for the 4th time in this race, and we'll take a look. We'll put us under the yellow flag. Stay tuned. This will put us under the caution for the 4th time in this race. Watch Anthony McCurry as he tries to get around the lap traffic. That's a very bold move by Anthony McCurry. He went out of under the white line. That is not an out-of-bounds line because we're not at a super speedway. But watch James Qualls here in the 47. Just going to get a piece right here of Ryan Richards. He's going to spin out. James Qualls just barely avoids any more contact between him, but Luke Martin, nowhere for that 20 Halo 4 machine to go. Luke Martin just went head-on into Ryan Richards. Sean Henley and Barney Ward really had to slow down, and Michael Norman. Dylan Young and Dylan Poteet picked up a couple of positions right there. Michael Norman just went right there. Oh, and there were more cars that got involved. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look who else got involved. You see Luke Martin, he came back up in the racetrack. Oh man, Brandon Bain, Wolfgang Mason just barely missing, but Trent Dunham, nowhere to go. Trent Dunham just went head-on into Luke Martin. Charles Jackson is also going to get a piece of the action here. Let's see who else is going to get involved. Trent Dunham goes back up the racetrack, and there goes our previous race winner, Jake Cole. And there's Sean Galligan, who also gets a piece of it as well. And then Pichu London, oh, head-on. Pichu London goes head-on into Ryan Richards. So, are any of you superstitious? I think this is another 9-car wreck that we might have had. If any of you are, then who knows? But look at these, all these cars out of the race, pretty much out of this race. Anthony McCurry pretty much was the one who didn't really suffer who didn't really got slowed down or suffered any damage. So Anthony McCurry's back to the lead. James Qualls is now second, but with some damage on the car of the 47 machine. I'm not sure if James Qualls will be able to sweep the race weekend here. Dylan Young is now moved up to 3rd. Dylan Poteet is now 4th, and Liam Ervig is now in the 5th position. So I don't know how many laps we're going to get to go here in this race, but we might get around 3 laps to go here. But that is dependent on how many pace laps the pace car will allow. We're under the yellow flag for the 4th time in this race, I think. Was it the 4th time or the 3rd time? If I said the 4th, if this is the 3rd time that we're under the caution, then I apologize, because I pretty much lost count at this point.
I believe this would be the 3rd caution.
All right, well then I apologize for that. I failed miserably. So this is the 3rd yellow flag that we were under, not the 4th. I just thought it was the 4th because of the lap count, but I forgot that we had a long green flag run, so yeah. So we're under the yellow flag for the 3rd time this race. I'm going to get it right this time, and we'll be right back to green flag racing right after this. We're back. Pacers giving us 1 to go. Here's another top 10 rundown. It's Anthony McCurry, the leader. James Qualls in 2nd. Justin Perry, he's a lap down. Dylan Young is in 3rd. Dylan Poteet 4th, and Liam Ervig runs at the top 5. Seth Cole's in 6th. Brandon Bain in 7th. Wolfgang Mason 8th. Sean Henley in 9th, and John Waycross rounds out the top 10. 10 cars have DNF'd from the previous caution. That is Emilio Navarrete, Ryan Richards, Randy Carpenter, Ricky Hawk, Pichu London, Sean Galligan, Luke Martin, Charles Jackson, Trent Dunham, and Jake Cole. As we see, Justin Perry and Alex Jones are a lap down, but we'll see if that will play a factor into this race as we come around with 4 to go this time by.
Well, this might be a race between the 14 and the 47, because unless Dylan Young can make quick work, which looks like he will, of that 18 car.
Well, they already do, but now here comes a question here. Will Justin Perry, he's going to hold up Liam Ervig. Justin Perry's now going to hold up Liam Ervig, and they're bunching up yet again. They're bunching up yet again.
They're going to split the 18 car. Oh, look at the 16.
And
here
now
comes
Dylan Young. Dylan Young's not wasting any more time. Dylan Young, the Dylan team, they're not wasting any more time. They're going to go for 2nd, and Dylan Poteet trying to take away 3rd. 3 to go this time by. And Dylan Young, he is almost there, right at the lead of Anthony McCurry, but it looks like Dylan Young is a bit slower than Anthony McCurry off that corner. Anthony McCurry actually is running a bit faster as they come off into turn 3 here. Oh, the yellow flag's out. That's it. That's it. Yellow flag is out. This is it. We had another wreck going on in the back of the pack, and that might be it. So the yellow flag has come out for the 4th time, and very likely could be Anthony McCurry who wins this race, barring the miracle of all miracles. Looks like Barney Ward and Michael Norman, those guys that got involved in that 3rd caution, they might have gotten a piece of it as well. Alex Jones, he's also a lap down. Something happened with him. William Duncan might have gotten a piece of it as well as his teammate Eric Burton. We'll have to take a look at what that yellow flag was that might pretty much end this race under the yellow flag. Stay tuned. This will put us under the 4th and what could be the final yellow flag of the race. Watch the 2 car of William Duncan here. He's going to get into the 13 of Sam Young, who gets into our co-commentator Michael Norman. Then the 98 of Michael Norman is going to get into Jacob Lawler in the 27, who gets into Barney Ward in the 56. And again, it's all because of this lap down car of Justin Perry. And because all those cars were bunching up, and really there was just not enough room to go around. And we also saw Eric Burton, he spun around. Oh, he got tapped around. He got tapped by Sam Young there. And you saw Danny Wells, he had to go through the grass. So that was what brought us under the yellow flag. It happened all the way in the back of the pack. And this is what the race back to the start finish line. It was pretty much all Anthony McCurry at this point. And very likely it could be Anthony McCurry who wins this race.
He's led every lap since the start.
Well, barring the miracle of miracles, it could be Anthony McCurry who wins the race. Dylan Young in 2nd, Dylan Poteet 3rd, James Qualls 4th, and Seth Cole in 5th. We'll see what the ruling is on the official leaderboard, as we are under the yellow flag, and very likely this race could end under the yellow flag. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back. Pace car is not giving us the 1 to go, so we will not get a 1-lap shootout. And well, for Anthony McCurry, it's going to be a happy day for him. Leads every single lap, just dominated this race from start to finish. And it was just like the same thing we saw with James Qualls in the nationwide race.
Yep. Good day for Anthony McCurry and Dylan Young. What an awesome race start he had to get to this point, to
Yep.
2nd, and then Dylan Poteet following him along. I think if there would have been just a few more laps and we would have ran green, I think he might have caught the 14 car.
Yes, another 2nd place finish for Dylan Young. Yet again, so close. When will the time come for Dylan Young? We may never know. Dylan Poteet will also get a podium finish in 3rd. That's his 2nd podium finish of this weekend. A great day for him. James Qualls will end up 4th. Not a sweep for the Kentucky gang, but still a good race for James Qualls. That should get him out of the basement in the points standings. And Seth Cole around at the top 5. Wolfgang Mason, the Englishman, a great day for Wolfgang Mason. He ends up 6th. Hold on. Now I'm going the wrong way. William Ervig, he survived that little slip up there with Justin Perry, the lap down car. He'll end up 7th. Brandon Bain, another great day for Brandon Bain. He'll end up in the 8th position. John Waycross with his first top 10 in the season in 9th. And Sean Henley is the last guy who finishes in the top 10. So now we have finished the race here, and now we take you to the rest of your official race results. Here's a look at your official race results. Congratulations to Anthony McCurry. He wins the Kobalt Tools 400. That's his first career Pepsi Cup Series victory. For Dylan Young, well, so close yet again. For Dylan Poteet, it's another great day. It's another great day for the Kentucky gang. He's gonna have a podium finish. James Qualls couldn't quite sweep the race weekend after getting involved with Ryan Richards during that 3rd yellow flag. But for James Qualls, another great 4th place finish. That should probably get him out of the basement in the standings. And Seth Cole with a 5th place finish. Then it's Wolfgang Mason, Liam Ervig, Brandon Bain, John Waycross, and Sean Henley. That is the top 10. Go through 11th through 20th. Now it's Lyndon Wright, Richard Johnson, Ty Naughton, Zohar Manood, Red Bell, Danny Wells, Jacob Lawler, Sam Young, Eric Burton, and William Duncan. 4 more cars ended up finishing the race. Barney Ward, our co-commentator Michael Norman, finished well away from the rest of the field in 22nd. Justin Perry and Alex Jones ended up 23rd and 24th. The last cars to finish the race. 18 cars ended up DNFing. Jake Cole, Trent Dunham, Charles Jackson, Luke Martin, Sean Galligan, Pichu London, Ricky Hawk, Rainey Carpenter, Ryan Richards, Emilio Navara, Tony Blazer, Joseph Lombard, Stephen Whitman, James McLeod, Preston Plord, Ryan Cooper, John Dillon, and Ben Paul. And to make it official, there it is. Well, Mike, it was a pretty good race here at a pretty good race weekend here for these cars, and I'll tell you, it's got to be a very deserving win for Anthony McCurry right there.
Yes, it was. Led every lap and just a strong car.
A great day for Anthony McCurry. Do you feel that, yes, and like you said before, I've had a feeling that Dylan Young would have had a chance at Anthony McCurry if there was no yellow flag. That would have been a great win for Dylan Young if there was no yellow flag, but he'll have to settle for second yet again. And do you think now? Take a look at the bottom half of this field. Do you feel that some drivers really just got involved in the wrong place at the wrong time, drivers such as Stephen Whitman, our special competition winner, and other drivers such as Charles Jackson and Trenton Dunham, who really just had nowhere to go in all those incidents?
Yeah, it's just with everyone bunching up and stuff, kind of like
The nationwide
Um,
race.
yeah, that's like nationwide race and stuff, and just all bunching up and just with people with nowhere to go and overdriving the corner and hitting somebody. It's just, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, I had a feeling that many drivers such as Trent Dunham and Charles Jackson, they should have been staying around for a better finish, and Ryan Cooper, our Daytona 500 winner, he will definitely lose the points lead now. Well, Mike, it was a great race weekend here at Las Vegas. Next up is my home track. Next week we're going to SoCal, good old SoCal of Auto Club for the Auto Club race weekend, and we know that is going to be an epic race weekend as all my fans are going to be coming there. Unfortunately, I won't be racing in any of those races, but of course I will be signing autographs, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. All right, Mike, well, it was a great race weekend, and it was great co-commentating this race with you, man.
No problem, man. Anytime.
Alright guys, this is Randy Orton Fan 2011 signing off. This race has been brought to you by Pepsi Next. Crisp, refreshing, amazing Pepsi Next. I'm out.